Again, this is why representation is so important. Welcome back to A Normal Lost Phone. Last time we found out a little more about Sam and how Sam is actually a trans woman and going through that journey and that process of really figuring out who they are. And there hasn't been a ton of support from friends and family while they're going through that journey. And so there have been people in their life who've threatened to expose them and make it this big deal, which is a bit much because Sam is not a different person when you think about it. So there's this BU forum, and this forum is where Sam has been posting and getting a lot of support online because they don't have that support locally. So let's read through some of this because we are looking for a picture of Sam. And the picture, I think, is in the VIP section, but we don't have a password. So like, oh, there's limited attempts. That's great. Anyways, introductions. This part is for introductions. Tessie Star. Okay, I'll start off by introducing myself. I want to skip down to Sam's introduction because that probably has the most information. Hello, I'm Sam Thing. I'm 17. I don't really know what I am, but I feel kind of lost at the moment. Let me explain a bit. I come from a town that's not very open. It's quite conservative, really, and I've never met anyone that's openly gay, let alone trans. I didn't even know the word trans for ages until I found it online. I always thought of myself as gay, even though I've always hated traditional masculine activities. My cousin, for example, always makes fun of me because I never keep up with sports news. Because of that, I've always gotten on better with girls. They tend to treat me like a girlfriend, telling me all their secrets, and I really like that they treat me like that. My cousin also makes fun of me because I enjoy playing the harp. Yep, you read that right. I'm a boy and I play the harp. I've loved it ever since I was little. Of course, I'm the only boy at my music school who plays the harp. Again, this is why representation is so important. You know, if we don't show this kind of stuff in the media, if we don't show the LGBT community in media, it's really hard for people to know what words might describe them because they've never heard the words or they've never known what that could look like or what that could mean. I agree with H says so, but I admit I wasn't completely honest in my first post. I left out some of the story. Last June, there was a concert at my school just before summer vacation. It was super important to me. It was also my last year in this school, in the music school, because I was just about to get my diploma. So, an important concert requiring a certain outfit. We had identical outfits because all the harpists play together. We had to reuse the same stage costumes that had been used for another school concert several years before, but they only had costumes for girls. So we had to get one made for me as soon as possible, except that while we were waiting for it, I joked and said I could play in one of the girls' costumes. Of course, the school said no, but a harpist friend, who I shall call V, oh, is that who we emailed who were like, hey, is this offer from this place legit? Let me her concert dress for fun. I tried it on, and I don't really know what happened. I might have just been trying it on for a joke. When I looked at myself in the mirror, something clicked. I can't really say it felt good. More like I felt really confused. Then V said, hey, miss, you look really pretty. I know she said that to make me laugh, but right there in that moment, I felt happy. Yeah, I was happy she said that. A sudden, intense happiness that suddenly vanished as soon as I realized what it might mean. Anyways, I know that it might be a bit sad when it made me a bit sad when a boy's costume arrived, and I was a bit disappointed that I had to wear it for the concert. I don't know where I am. I don't know. I feel like I don't know who I am anymore. I want to try dressing as a woman again, but I dare not. Thanks for the advice, Captain Cupcake. So they got advice. I identify as non-binary. I'm not going to tell you my age because that's just not something you ask a young non-binary person. Sam Thing, I think that what you felt when you tried on your friend's dress is what we call gender euphoria. Don't confuse it with gender dysphoria. To simply put it, it's when you feel good doing things that aren't attributed to the gender you were giving at birth. It doesn't necessarily mean you're a trans woman. Anyways, it's up to you to define yourself. That's very true. And see what makes you happy. And if you want to dress up again, go for it. Just see where it takes you. Maybe you'll decide you don't like it. Maybe you'll love it. And you'll never want to dress as a boy again. Maybe you'll feel somewhere in between. Your life lies ahead of you. Grab it by the horns and enjoy it. I mean, that's so true. It's up to us to really decide like how we identify and like what our life looks like. Thanks for the great advice. It's a real help. I made the most of my parents being out to try on my mom's clothes and makeup just to see what happened, and I have to admit it felt good. Okay, so I'm not exactly a stunner, but I've got something. I should mention that I'm pretty androgynous anyway, so I think I could pass. I really want to go out and meet people, see if they perceive me as a girl, but I don't care. Sam, think if you want to go out in the street and see if people perceive you as a girl, here's some advice. Use a well-padded push-up bra. If you don't have long hair, wear a wig. Don't just wear makeup, wear nail polish and jewelry too. I never do nail polish, and I have some jewelry, but it's like always the same stuff. Don't wear too much makeup. You don't want to look like a paint pot. Don't just use makeup for your eyes and mouth. You can also use different foundation. Men's and women's faces are quite different shape. The idea is to play with light and shadows to make your face look more feminine. There's also loads of tutorials online. That is so true. There's like the gift that the newer generations have, but there are a shit ton of tutorials online which did not exist when I was like a teenager, which makes me feel so incredibly old. Try to make your voice higher. Nothing betrays you more than a deep voice. And last but not least, don't try to go see people who know you as a man when you go out for the first time. I tried to go out today for the first time dressed as a girl. I just walked to go out of the house to go to a bakery where I don't normally go, but my legs were shaking so much I couldn't even leave my room. It's no biggie. I'm not going to let that stop me. There's a sci-fi convention in my town soon, and I'm thinking that might be the best time to try again. Worst case scenario, if people give me weird looks, I can always say that I'm dressed as some sci-fi character. It's true. That's a great idea. That kind of place doesn't normally ask for ID to sign up, so you wouldn't even need to show them any documents that say you're a guy. Oh, I didn't even think of that. I wonder if there's anything else I haven't thought about. I'm too scared. This forum is such a supportive place for like Sam to think about all these things. And like they're very encouraging, right? Saying like, hey, go do it, you know? It's why Sam ordered a wig online. Okay, so I just got back from the convention. It was great. No one gave me weird looks or said anything to me at all. And you won't believe it, but I even signed up to a board game club that has a stand there, and I used a girl's name too. It's really encouraging to hear that. Would you prefer that we use female pronouns now? Or do you want to keep it that when you're or do you want to keep that for when you're with the board game people? That's like a very important question. Like, which pronouns do you want? Nope, let's go for female pronouns here too. I know I can trust you all anyway. And then oh. If you get your password wrong, your account won't be deleted. You'll just get an automatically generated new password that will be sent to your email. General ranting. So I can purposefully get Sam's password wrong multiple times. So is Sam in this chat? Like one comment here or there. Anyone want to adopt me? I can't deal with my parents anymore. Just a warning, it's a long story. You might want some popcorn. So I've got an older cousin. Oh yes, I wanted to hear about this. So I've got an older cousin whom I've never really known well because he disappeared when I was little, and it's been over 10 years since I heard anything from him. His brother and I were always told he had run off to join a cult. Is the cult like the LGBT community? So we never really tried to find out more. Last week, I found a wedding invitation in the mailbox from this exact cousin, and huge surprise, he's marrying another man. I knew it. My older cousin, who I haven't heard from in over a decade, is marrying another guy, and his own family told him it was a cult. So doing something that isn't like the heteronormative, like... So like, Sam's family basically says anything that isn't like the cis-het, like heteronormative thing is a cult. These are like such heavy words too, like cult. Like we are raised this idea that like cults are instantly bad. That's really heavy for someone to be raised with. Granted, Sam is like just finding this out that her cousin is gay, but it's still during her own personal journey that Sam is finding this out. In my family, aka the most homophobic family in the world, they even said that it was a good thing that the LGBT center was burned down, so you can see what I mean. I talked about it with my other cousin, his little brother, and he told me that he found a wedding invitation in his dad's office too. He got a hold of the contact info and called his big brother. Well, as it turns out, the whole cult story told to us by our parents was a complete lie. He never joined a cult. It was his parents who kicked him out the same day he came out to them. And they refused to speak to him ever again. That is so hard that like one aspect that doesn't even define you as a person is enough to be disowned. Wait, why did he invite them to his wedding? I don't understand. Well, sometimes people change. It might have been an attempt by Something's cousin to reach out. It's a very brave thing to do. Brave, but useless. The invite ended up in the garbage. Shitty parents. Anyway, I now know what's in store for me if I ever decide to come out. Maybe your parents told you that because it's what your aunt and uncle told them. That's what I thought too. Then I talked with them about the invite. It ended up like this. Sam. I saw this invite to cousin X's wedding. Parents. Yes, what a disgrace. How dare he invite us to his cultist ceremony. Me, but it's a wedding. What's wrong with that? Parents. No, he's not getting married. Marriage is between a man and a woman. What he's doing is an abomination. It's the cult of homosexuals. I don't really have words for that right now. It's not exactly what they said, but you get the idea. Ah, your parents sound awesome. Those are some words for it. Oh, at the end of like every section, there's a thing basically saying like, yo dog, you know that like, here's how you can reset your password, right? Coming out. See if Sam is active in here. The game talks about like sex is between the legs, gender is between the ears. Being transgender isn't a choice, simply realizing who you are inside. Being transgender doesn't automatically mean undergoing genital operations. It's different for everyone, different from sexual orientation. I really love how this game is talking about all of this because I completely agree with all of that. Not all trans people feel that something isn't right. Sometimes they feel happy with their lives but realize that traditional elements related to the opposite gender make them happier. Sam says, personally, I wouldn't even dare to come out to my girlfriend because I'm sure she'd never accept it. I already tried to mention to her once that I was wondering about my sexuality and that I thought I might be attracted to guys and girls, and she told me that that was impossible, that you either had to be straight or gay. And if it was gay, that it was something that needs to be fixing. Fuck. So I think telling her I want her to think of me as a girl wouldn't even be worth the effort. She's got pretty good qualities apart from that. Ugh. What's the difference between bi and trans? Gender is very different from sexual orientation. Gender is what you are. Sexual orientation is who you are attracted to. Who doesn't like cupcakes? And then there's non-binary. Like this game, like if you actually read through this entire chat in detail, it really is detailed. Like it could be an extremely good resource for people who are kind of questioning this stuff and like stumble upon the game. There's not a good or bad way to be trans. You don't have to take hormones or like have it be an operation if you don't want it to be. There's a lot of good information. I think that's another thing about, like the internet and social media is that there have become these little pockets of LGBT resources for people who don't have that locally that can be extremely helpful for all of this kind of information. Sam does say it's got nothing to do with that, but since we're in the coming out section, I wanted to tell you what happened to me. Yesterday I had some really bad news and I really wanted to talk to someone. I went to see my best friend A, who's always presented herself as a girl, who I've always presented myself to as a girl, and who has no idea I'm a trans lady. I told her my story. She really listened, and then I finished off by telling her that I'm trans. I was expecting some awful reaction, but she was super understanding and really cool about it. It made me so happy. I'm still on a high. That's probably why Sam didn't tell her friend that she had a girlfriend until like super later in the friendship. So I've made a big decision. It's my birthday at the end of the month and we're throwing a big party to celebrate my 18th. All my family is going to be there, and I think I'm going to take the chance and announce my news to everyone. A will be there too, so I have someone to support me. Okay, I admit it. I'm saying this right now because I'm caught up in the moment. I'll wait and see. That is a lot. I wonder if that's what Sam actually did, because we have the messages from the dad that are kind of like, where are you? So this is the hormones and operations section. And again, like, there seems to be a lot of information. It's not bolded, so I'm not reading it as I come across it. It's just like here and there as I catch little glimpses. You guys are talking a lot about hormones and operations, but do you really have to do all that when you are trans? It scares me. I can't even make myself get piercings, and I don't really want to do it. Don't worry about it all. You don't have to do anything at all. You're not less trans if you don't have an operation or aren't taking hormones. If you don't feel the need to do it, no problem. Gender is between your ears, not between your legs. Still, just so you know, remember that hormones don't come in scary syringes. They come in pills and gel form too. Thanks. To tell the truth, I've been confused and doubting myself a lot. For example, I'm kind of worried I might not be trans enough, which is huge with a lot of parts of the LGBT community, because, you know, Sam is talking about not being trans enough, but it also comes in forms of, am I bi enough? Like, if I haven't dated someone of the opposite, if I haven't dated someone of the same gender, am I bi enough? Like, do I count? But your answer is really reassuring. Thanks again. Then it talks about like different effects with hormones. Beauty. See if Sam posts some beauty. Sam doesn't post some beauty. Hobbies and free time. Sam posts about music, types of music, jazz, indie rock, classic, because Sam's a musician. Sam says that they play the harp. Sam says that she sent out some compositions. Okay, this VIP. I think that we have to fail it. Ooh, account locked. Please answer your security question. What is your father's year of birth? Well, we know from this picture that he's 54 years old as of 2015. So 2015 minus 54. Have I mentioned I'm bad at math? I'm really glad there's a calculator in here. 1961? Where's... Here we go. 61? Hello, Something. Please enter your password. We have new email. Okay, password reset. New password is 544777. 544777. VIP? Yeah! Okay. We are in the VIP section. I'm Harry from Melrin. That's who messaged us about the book fair event. So the H says so. That's who that is. Who's going to Trans Pride on December 19th? Book festival. That's what it was. It was Trans Pride. Me, I'm still looking forward to it, particularly because I haven't been since 2013. I can't wait to see you again, Cleo. I'll be there. I should be coming. I've been thinking about bringing Something along. We met at the LGBT Center in Melbourne. She's cool, so it'd be okay to add her to the VIP section. I'll introduce you to her if she comes to Trans Pride. Hi, everyone. So thanks for the invite. So yeah, I'm Samira. We met this weekend. I took loads of photos during Trans Pride on my cell phone. Can I share them here? Oh, of course. Make sure you only post the good ones. Oh. So Sam has blue eyes. We are looking for someone with blue eyes. Still gonna download them anyways. Okay, this is all the pictures I took. Thanks, Barbara, for taking the photo of me. It's the first time I've had my picture taken as Samira. It's really great. I've shared them all now, so I'm going to delete them from my phone. I'm worried my mom might see them. She's always messing with my stuff. Your photos are really cool. So you know what you should do about your mom? You should install a fake calculator app. I use the calculator on this phone. It's an app that looks like a real calculator, but when you install it, you choose a special number. And when you enter it and press the equal button, it opens a hidden folder where you can keep hidden whatever you want. I wonder if that's why Sam is so obsessed with the numbers. Like, it's literally a part of this fake calculator app. Ooh, awesome. How come I only just find out about this? I already deleted the photos. So I've installed the fake calculator. I've put all my sensitive stuff in there. There's one more date we have to find. I'm glad it helped. Did you make sure to choose a strong password? It is a strong password indeed, but I'm sure I won't forget it. It's something to do with all of you. I love my photo. I would like to use it on a dating website. I think the ones I've been using so far are really ugly. How do I download it? Trans Pride was... the 19th. Okay, let's go back to Lovebirds first. One thing at a time. We were messaging Phil, and we need to send Phil a photo of us. Sam. So, only one of these has blue eyes. Sam is so pretty. You look really beautiful in it. Was it taken during the Trans Pride at Cavonia? I recognize the city. Cavonia rules. It's really a nice place for LGBT people. Okay, so we need a date, and then we need to press enter. So 12/19 was Trans Pride. Huh. Samira, we met this weekend, so... Trans Pride is the 19th. What was the previous weekend? Board games. Book Club was the 16th? Oh, I didn't try the date backwards, so 1912. So I tried putting in the date of Trans Pride. What else is the point of this? What's the point in doing this first? Cavonia. Eight, 5, 9, 2, 2. Oh. All of the other passwords were dates, so I just assumed it was a date. I take that back. The Wi-Fi password was a zip code, but we were told it was a zip code. All the other dates that we've had to figure out, or all the other passwords that we've had to figure out, were dates. So I just assumed it was a date. It took me forever. Diary. I finally got a new phone to replace the one that got stolen. It looks alright, but I've got mixed feelings about it. I lost all I had on my old phone, old pictures and messages. On the other hand, I like to think that there's some meaning to losing it. Maybe it's the universe telling me, come on, it's time to start a clean slate. Take your life into your own hands and start anew. Tomorrow there's a meeting for the support group for LGBT teens. Maybe I'll convince myself to go. I went to the support group's meeting. I had to make up something for my mom to let me go. I told her I joined a book club. She was so excited about it that she made a cake for me to bring. She really does everything she can to help me make new friends. Though if she knew the kind of friends I made there, I'm not sure she'd be baking many cakes. Board games meeting was today, but Melissa was so annoying afterwards. She threw yet another fit because of Alice. I have to say it bothers me that she gets so jealous. On the other hand, I absolutely cannot have Melissa meet Alice. Alice thinks I'm Samira. Oh yeah, that's right. As far as like, Sam was purposefully keeping them not meeting. But to Melissa, I'll be Samuel. I'll always be Samuel to her. I'll have to tell Melissa one day, but for now I just don't feel like I can. Plus, we've been together for 3 years. Fuck, and she probably thinks it's a together forever kind of deal. Me too. I'm head over heels for her, but I know she wouldn't be okay with Samira. Thankfully, Melissa doesn't want to have sex before getting married. Because honestly, I really do not want to be naked in front of her for now. I don't feel comfortable enough with my body for that. Today, the support group advised me to come out to at least one person I trust. I thought I could always talk to Alice about this. I thought I could always talk to Alice about it this Sunday. She thinks I'm a lesbian. Since I told her about Melissa, she probably wouldn't take it badly if I admitted to her I was born Samuel. What a shitty day. I expected to come out to Alice today during our board games afternoon meetup. Not only did I not manage to do it, I also ended up withdrawing completely, stuck in my little shell. Lola, this stupid moron, told me she had to talk to me about something private, so apparently her boyfriend goes to the same school as me, and upon seeing his class photo, she recognized me, but like as Samuel. So obviously she asked questions. I tried to come up with something, like having a twin and the likes, but I ended up splurting something, feeling embarrassed. She told me I could tell her the truth, being all, you know, Samira, you can trust me, with her teeny bopper voice. Turns out I told her everything. What a mistake. She took it way too bad. She told me that I'm a monster. She doesn't want me to come over and play with them ever again. I just feel like dying. Tomorrow's Trans Pride. I'm so excited I can barely sleep. Trans Pride was amazing. I just felt like I belonged for the first time in my life. No one judged me. It was great. And Cavonia is such a sweet city. I'd love to live there rather than Melrin. Seriously, Melrin is the most bigoted city in the world. I'm pretty certain that half the population doesn't even know what LGBT stands for. Really? It was my dad's birthday tonight. We had a cozy evening. It was only my parents and Melissa. It was just unpleasant. They talked about queer couples' rights to adoption. I didn't know my parents were sort of closed-minded on the topic, and apparently so is Melissa. My dad is super homophobic. I'll never dare come out to him. What a shitty day. I broke up with Melissa. We were gonna meet tonight to celebrate the new year, just the two of us. I thought it was gonna be a relaxing evening, that she was going to be tired because of the flight, but that didn't seem to be the case, like at all. She even wanted to go out all night, or she wanted to go out tonight. To think she always told me she wanted to wait until getting married, all of a sudden she sends me a pic of the lingerie she was going to wear tonight. I suppose she felt threatened by Alice and thought it was a way to keep me around for longer. But like, no way. I just didn't feel like I could keep lying to her, but I couldn't tell her the truth either. That's why it was so sudden. Melissa's mom called. Apparently she tried to commit suicide on New Year's Eve. Fuck, I can't believe it. It's my fault. I was such a fucking idiot. I am the worst. I mean, it's not your fault. Because if you stay in a relationship that isn't authentic to you, that's not great either. There's no good thing in this situation. I felt awful after hearing the news. I ended up calling Alice. I came clean, told her everything. She was terrific. It really did feel good to finally tell her the truth, but it doesn't change anything about the fact I felt like crap because of Melissa. Shit, how could she do this? Melissa told me I was toxic. Honestly, I do not deserve to live. There's so much like weight and heaviness about like what is going on, and like this feeling that like I can't talk to anyone. I've been contacted by Loudnote, who is interested in my music. I'm all joy and happiness. I signed up for a dating website today. Alice convinced me it was the best way to think about something other than Melissa. I'm not really sold. For starters, the website doesn't seem at all open to homosexual or bisexual people. No way to check profiles of your own gender. I had to create 2 accounts to explore different profiles. I really wonder if this is a good idea. I don't even really know what I'm looking for. I have had it. I don't know how this day could have gone any worse. Today I learned via Tio that our parents have been lying to us for years, telling us my cousin Eric has joined a cult when actually he just got kicked out when his parents discovered he was gay. Trying to come out in this fucked up family is out of the question. The second terrible news of the day is that Alice is leaving Melrin. She just got in for a semester abroad, her dream university, and she's leaving very soon. My one and only support in this shitty city is leaving. I can't even bring myself to be happy for her, even though I know I should. In 2 days, I'll be 18. I'm not a believer, but today I prayed for something to happen. I just want somebody to tell me, don't mind the others, erase them all from your life, don't keep anything from the present, leave your boy wardrobe in Melrin, throw away your phone, and leave to start anew somewhere else. Is that what she did? Just there. We just passed midnight. I've been 18 for 5 minutes now. I don't have to rely on my parents anymore. I'm an adult. I wish I could say a brave, independent adult person, but it's more like a trans adult stuck in Melrin. It seriously seems like if I stay one more day in this town, I'll do something wrong. Got an email. Cavonia. Hey Alice, I'm writing from the computer room of the Cavonia LGBT Center. I just got there and I'm planning to rebuild my life there. It's a decision I kind of made on a whim, but I really couldn't stand my life in Melrin. I was suffocating there, and you were really the only support. So when you told me you were leaving Melrin, I got so depressed. So this is Sam. Sam is in Cavonia, the place she really loved. At the LGBT Center, where they have places for people to live. In truth, you were right. I attached too much importance to dates, and especially signs from fate. And I was waiting for a sign, just something. And guess what? My birthday present was a motorbike. How could I not see it as a sign? Me, looking for a way to leave. I said I was going for a ride, and I got away. I felt so relieved to be gone. I wanted to erase every trace of my old life, where I couldn't recognize myself, so I threw away my phone without thinking. So, well, I can't call you. That was dumb. I'll mail you my new number, I promise. On the other hand, my phone wasn't locked, and anyone could find it. Sorry, Sam. That really bothers me. I don't want people searching it. Those are only traces of my old life. An old me I can't even recognize anymore. Hey, Sam. I'm glad that you were able to gather your courage and leave to rebuild your life. Even if I'll be very far from now on, you can still count on me when things go wrong. Don't worry about your phone. Most likely someone will find it, erase all the data, and keep the phone from themselves. After all, it's still an almost brand new phone. If it's someone with good intentions, they'll want to look around a bit to return it to its owner. Sorry, Sam. When they look around, I'm sure they'll understand the reason you left, and will decide to erase your data to erase every trace of your escape. So, erase the phone. Do you really want to erase all the data on this device? Warning, this action cannot be undone. I love this game. I feel like it was an interesting way to unlock like different parts of the game. It was a really realistic way that we talk to people too, as far as like through text, and a realistic reason why like the messages with Alice would be in the email versus the text. The music was amazing. Really loved it. Which makes sense, right? If our character is supposed to be a harpist. But the way that they talk about the LGBT community and this journey that Sam is going through while she discovers herself, and like the questioning and the fear, but also like these moments of euphoria. I'm not trans, so I can't fully say that this is something that I personally identify with, but this is what I hear from people all the time. So to me, this feels like an amazing representation. And again, I said before that representation is so important. So I would love if games put more of this aspect of humanity into video games. You know, it's easy for people to say that the LGBT community is a cult when they don't see the humanity in it. But the more that video games have this kind of stuff in it, the easier it is to see that humanity in it. So I would love to hear what your guys' thoughts are on the game. And I will see you guys in the next video.